What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video, we're going to be doing another of the Rate My Squad videos. Sorry, I couldn't get one done last week. I was meant to have done on Thursday, and let's be real, I was just in absolutely no state to do any videos on Thursday, so I had to take the day off. But either way, we are going to be doing it today, and I'm going to probably try to get another one up someday early next week. So here, first team, I'm all good with making any change to the team. This is no money spent squad, run a lot of pick and pops. Thanks, keep up the good work. Okay, so first of all, this guy's team is quite clearly above like 90 overall. And if your team's above 90 overall, I never understand why you don't run players your last three on the bench. Like, I get it for contract situation, but like Jeff Petrie, what I would advise you to do is just get the challenge for Lynn and get Lynn in instead of Petrie. That would definitely be an upgrade. Sell your... I'm going to say this basically anytime there's a Pink Diamond Shack. Sell Pink Diamond Shack, and if you really like Pink Diamond Shack, buy Amethyst Shack. I could not care less what price Pink Diamond Shack is. The Amethyst Shack, you're getting 90% of the value, or you're getting 95% of the card of Pink Diamond. They're almost identical, except the fact is the Amethyst Shack is like 2K20. So sell Pink Diamond Shack and buy the Amethyst. Even though, again, I know there is a 6 overall difference, those cards are almost the same. All you have to do is look at the stats. They are almost the same. Jason Kidd, I'm not the biggest fan of Kidd, but he's not bad. Especially at Pink Diamond, he's maybe one of the best defense point guards in the game. I really like Lance Stevenson, Jimmy. Millsap's a decent card. I don't know how much MT you have, so I can't really talk too much about it. Obviously, you've gone 12-0 every single month this year, so again, with Dr. J. Moses Malone, I don't know how great the advice I can give to you is, except for obviously the Shaq thing, just to save up some MT. And other than that, it appears the way you run your team that you don't really like shooting centers, so again, evoing up Kareem if you don't need a shooting center is probably the best bet there. And yeah, for me anyway, this team's like a 7 out of 10. But if it works for you, it works for you, because obviously you've got all these, you've got basically all of the rewards for going 12-0. So look, if it works for you, it works for you. Just the Shaq thing, you're getting almost the exact same value, getting the Amethyst Shaq in game, and it's like 1/40th of the price. So I always run pick and pop / roll and rim running, then kick out. Let me know who I should sell or replace. Okay, so the team here is, I don't know why I keep scrolling down. There we go. So the team here: Magic Johnson, Brandon Roy, Tracy McGrady, Giannis, D-Rob, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Larry Bird, Anthony Davis, Bill Russell. Okay, so this is not going to be that popular thing, but I would sell Dwayne Wade. Yeah, I think Dwayne Wade's about 200k. I would sell him, and considering the fact you don't have Mark Eaton, I would probably sell Magic Johnson as well. As much as I like Magic and Dwayne Wade, I just think there's a storm coming, lads, and we're going to be getting more and more opals very quickly. So what I would advise you guys to do is, if you have any like 300-400k Pink Diamonds, I don't know exactly what price Magic is, I would sell all of them now. This is probably a time to try find budget cards, because you've seen what they've done with budget cards. You've seen the fact that Lance Stevenson came out last week, the Shaq came out this week, that is almost identical. That Billups was only like 5-6k MT, that Steve Nash was only 20k MT. So, like, as much as I do like Dwayne Wade, I don't think he's a significant enough upgrade over evoing up a Jeremy Lin for him to be majorly worth it. And also, because you have Bill Russell, you've got Gilbert Arenas, and I don't think he's a significant upgrade over Gilbert Arenas either. Brandon Roy is fantastic. T-Mac, you have T-Mac locked in, keep him in your squad. Ray Allen locked in, keep him there. Giannis fantastic. D-Rob's tokens. You've got Bill Russell locked in. Hopefully you don't have Magic and Anthony Davis locked in. If you do, then can't really change much. You also have Ben Simmons there as a tall point guard. You've got Gilbert Arenas in your collection. Look, you could, without question, sell some of your players, get 800, 900 KMT, and replace them with players that you already have and only have a very, very minimal downgrade. Especially because you're playing Anthony Davis the 4, where he's not as effective. Like, move Larry Bird up 1, buy Jimmy Butler, or buy Lamar Odom playing with the 4, or get Butler for the 3 and move Larry Bird up 1. Heck, even get, what's his name, for cheap. Even get Miles Bridges for, play him at small forward, play Larry at power forward, sell your AD, sell Magic Johnson, put Ben Simmons starting a point guard, or you're back at point guard. You got Gilbert Arenas in there. You can make a team 99% as good as this, while also managing to build up an MT total of a couple of 100,000 MT. So when 2K do start releasing ups for fun, you're going to be able to not have to spend real money on the game. So the whole thing is that this squad right here is a 9 out of 10 without question, and you could probably make it like an 8.7 out of 10 while also getting yourself 900 KMT and preparing for the next time the market completely crashes. Willing to make any changes. I know I'm not a fan of Jason Kidd or Dwight. I am a fan of Jason Kidd and kind of a fan of Dwight. I am without question. Okay, should be zooming in more. There we go. I'm not a fan of Jason Kidd at Amethyst at all. I'm not a fan of Dwight Howard at Amethyst either. Like, Walt Frazier needs to go. And as much, I do like Walt Frazier, but Steve Nash is 20 KMT. Chauncey Billups is less than 10k. I'm telling you, Chauncey Billups is better than Walt Frazier. I'm saying that right now. Just due to release and stuff, Chauncey Billups is better than Walt. Walt can dunk, but doesn't have range standard. Chauncey Billups is better than Walt. I don't like the fact that you have Bargnani at power forward off the bench. I don't like Jaylen Brown. Lance Stevenson needs to keep Lance Stevenson. Jason Kidd, if you're working even on him up and you really like him, that's fine. The fact that you're running Embiid means you probably like shooting centers. I would move up Bargnani, 1. Sell Walt Frazier, buy Billups. I don't know what price Ayton is or Embiid. I don't think is there any better alternatives for cheaper than Embiid and Jackson. There may not be. They're both pretty good cards. I'd sell Jaren Jackson by Karl Malone. Karl Malone will give you is as good if not better than Jackson. You've made a little bit empty there. Sell Walt Frazier by Billups. You're making empty there. And again, your team is not getting any worse. Sell Jaylen Brown. And I don't even know who to put in. You probably do have the MT for someone like Miles Bridges then, who is significantly better than Jaylen Brown. And then just buy in anyone for the power forward position. Like, I don't even know. But like, again, this team is like, you've got some good players in your team. Giannis is good. Granger's good. Granger's a bit expensive though. I don't mind your power forward and center combination, but I think you can get slightly better for cheaper. I like Lance Stevenson, but this team's a 7 out of 6 and 6.5 out of 10. Not awful. Like, you can definitely win games with it, but there's a lot of changes to be made. Okay, no money spent, run 21 delay, which is like the best 4-out one in play in my opinion, or freelance. Pick and pop driving kicks with Giannis. Have 270k to spend after spotlight grind. Not sure if to spend it or sit on it. I think you should still sit on MT. Maybe 2 days ago was the best time to spend. Probably not the next couple of days unless they release. I don't know. Unless Giannis wins All-Star Game MVP and Opal Giannis comes out, which will completely kill the market. I don't think it's the best time to spend. I think whenever they release the next Prime Pack, especially if there's an Opal in the Prime Packs, that could be a great time to spend. But yeah, so Marbury's pretty good. Roy's good. Jimmy's good. You know what? You've got very, very few weaknesses in the team. I really like this team. I would definitely... There's no significant upgrades you can make without breaking the bank, in my opinion. Like, maybe if you would rather... Like, you can put in someone like a Steve Nash or a Chauncey Billups for Terrence Davis, but Davis does really well, is really good, and he's good at other things. Kobe's really good. Jefferson's obviously locked in. You already have Millsap. Porzingis is fantastic. Not the biggest fan of Blake Griffin just because he's got no clamps. Maybe I'd put in Antoine Walker for him, but that's really it. I wouldn't really make many changes. This team is a solid like 8.9 out of 10, and also the fact that like even if you made all the possible changes, it would probably go from like 8.9 to 9 out of 10. So I don't advise you really to change anything. If I had this squad, I'd be perfectly content with it. It's a really good team, and you may as well hold on to your MT for when better players come out. So squad here. I do drive and kicks, pick and roll / pop, have 666k MT left. I like sitting on MT for spotlights. Any suggestions? So I would sit on MT again. You've got Brandon Roy. So you've got all the spotlights completed. The problem is that I have a weird feeling that spotlights are not going to come back, because basically 2K were talking about how less people are spending money on the game due to design changes on my team. And the only real design changes in my team was giving us like free cards and stuff, and also spotlights was like the only brand new thing. And the fact they're saying less people are spending money on packs due to design changes, I have a feeling spotlights is one of those quote design changes. So I have a feeling to appease shareholders, spotlights are going to go. Stephon Marbury's really good. Brandon Roy's really good. Again, like it seems very similar to the guy above. Your Your last 3 off the bench, perfect. Like, you know what? Like, this, I know this is a bit of a budget team. And for the price, for the fact that you've got all that MT locked up, and the players that you can't, obviously the players that you can't, well, you can buy, sorry, on this team, cost like 25k for Sol, 5k for Stevenson, so that's 30k, maybe 60k, maybe 100k, maybe 110k, and for 110k plus locked in players, this team's unreal, absolutely unreal. So I'm going to give this team like a 9.2 out of 10. Maybe like 10 out of 10 for value, like a 9.2 out of 10 otherwise. Then we have got this team. Like to run 4 at 1 in, pick and roll / pop. Okay, 450k budget, waiting on cards like Bron, KD, etc. to get updates. Also thinking about replacing Brook. So obviously this was before LeBron came out yesterday, but he's also a serious MT amount. Let's go back one here. Yeah, that's perfect size. Okay, so starting lineup, 9.5 out of 10. Bench lineup, a little bit of a lack of height in the 2-3 position, but that's fine. Yeah, I would get rid of Brook. I like shooting centers, to be honest. I would put Miles Turner in there. I know he goes for nothing, and considering the fact you have so much MT, actually, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if you went and bought one of the opals yesterday, to be honest, if you have that much MT sitting there. If you have, obviously disregard what I'm saying, but I don't even think you need to spend much on a center. Like, Miles Turner is fine. Or if you want to put Bargnani there and replace Brook Lopez with Shaq for like 2k MT, you're fine. Like, there's no point spending much MT because this team is a solid, like, again, probably maybe 8.75 out of 10 as it is. And Miles Turner brings that up a little bit, I think. But as far as, again, value goes, the only players that aren't locked in, you got Larry, who's fantastic for his price, one of the best guys in the game. You got Bargnani, who's 5k. You've got Stevenson, who's 5k, thereabouts, and that's it. And 20k for Gasol. Like, it's a fantastic team. So, yeah, not many changes needed. And again, the fact that so many cards you can get from playing the game means if you have that initial million MT and you just play the game a ton and you sell back all the cards, you're not going to lose that much MT. So then this team right here. When high pick and pops at Lane Gasol, run the fast breaker Giannis, have 100k budget. Okay, so pretty much, and all these teams are good. Like, I've been looking through squads. It's been very hard to find a bad team. So these squads are all, like, a 10 out of 10 squad would literally be like LeBron, I don't know, Roy, T-Mac, Giannis, and trying to think who the best center is, Davis. Maybe that would be a 10 out of 10 team. Starting lineup. But Lynn's fantastic, even 95. Marbury's great. Again, it's one of the most common combinations, Lynn and Marbury, because Marbury's just a better Baron Davis and Lynn is free as well. And then a lot of people don't have waiters, so there's no point using a Gilbert Arenas or a Derrick Rose or anything anymore, because you got Lynn and Stephon Marbury are the exact same as them. Like, you've got Brandon Roy, who's really good. Hito, who I think is great, and especially his height being paired with Giannis is really good. Gasol, fantastic shooter. If you have his release down, is really good. Your bench, maybe, like, there's no problems with this team. I think maybe sell Jimmy Butler and put in Lance Stevenson, because Lance Stevenson, in my opinion, is equally as good as that Jimmy Butler. And the difference is that Lance Stevenson is only, again, like 5k compared to whatever Jimmy Butler is, just to save some MT. But other than that, I wouldn't even suggest to change anyone. Maybe put in 3 guys at the end of your bench. But no, this team's like a 9 out of 10. And yeah, there's no real tips I can give. Like, when these teams are so good, there's no tips I can give with a lot of them. And yet another, is this the most common combo? Stephon Marbury with Jeremy Lin, like. Run pick and rolls and pops with 614k MT left. Saving for spotlights, and I have already looked at this squad, haven't I? Okay, so this is the same guy who sent in 2. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. I was like confused, like, this is the same squad I've already got. Is there any changes to this squad? No. So this squad, this is not going to be looked at again. The exact same thing as I said the last time. So this squad right here, been debating on selling Bosch, but I don't know who to buy as a replacement. If you're playing Bosch to 4, sell him. I like Bosch to 5, but sell him. Like, this team, your starting 5 is fine. Your starting 5 is fine, but like selling Bosch and putting in Karl Malone probably makes it better. As well as the fact that it also saves you a couple of 100k MT, or at least 150k MT. And your bench, what the hell is that bench? Lynn's fine. Lynn is perfectly fine. Lance Stevenson on your starters is fine. But, like, replace Norman Powell with... first of all, sell Jason Terry. And you can replace Jason Terry with either Donovan Mitchell or Chauncey Billups. Because, again, they're both way cheaper and very similar. Like, Jet might be slightly better, but again, for the price, he's only very slightly better. As much as I like Norman Powell, come on, like, at this stage in the game, unless you're running with like a 15k MT squad, there's no need to have him in the squad. Marcus Morris Sr. is not good for his price anymore. Sell both of them. Both of them were good cards in their day. Sell both of them. Sell that Giannis. Please sell that Giannis. That Giannis has got no clamps, can't shoot the ball, is a liability, and I don't know what the story is with Kareem. Your starting lineup, if you were put in Malone for Bosch, is probably like an 8 out of 10. Your bench lineup is a 4.5 out of 10. To be honest, like, you've got clamps on 2 of your players, but that Giannis is nowhere near as good as the other Giannis cards. Kareem isn't great. So, I still don't know. I still really don't know what to do with this squad. Like, I'm pretty sure Giannis doesn't go for much different than Odom. So, like, Odom's a significant upgrade on Giannis. Sell Bosch, get your 100k MT. Buy in Karl Malone. I'm trying to think of good cheap wings. Obviously, Lance Stevenson is there. I don't know. With your MT for Bosch, you can probably buy Miles Bridges. And then at the 2, go and buy Landry Fields. Evoed up. And then at the point guard position, go and get yourself either Billups or Donovan Mitchell for cheap. And this team suddenly becomes like an 8 out of 10. But as of right now, especially with that bench, I can't give it more than a 6.5 out of 10. There's a lot of changes made in that one. And then this squad right here. Tried to base squad around clamps. Willing to sell anybody. 5 out drive and kick as well as pick and pop. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Okay, an interesting team. First of all, Chris Paul out. Chris Paul out. Billups in. Billups is just a much better Chris Paul. Can do everything Chris Paul can do. Is also 3 inches taller and has range extender. Lance Stevenson, fantastic. Walker, I don't know how I feel about Walker at the 3. What I would do is I would put in Landry Fields for Marcus Morris. I think they're around the same price. And I would put Landry Fields at the 3 and Walker as your power forward off the bench. And then, other than that, this team's good. I like this team. Like Lynn and, if you have Lynn and Billups to your point guard rotation, you're going to be fine. Terrence Davis is an elite scorer, a little bit undersized, but an elite scorer. Kurolenko, an elite defender with Hall of Fame dimer. And again, only problem with him is that he's got no range extender. And while Marcus Morris was great in his day a couple of weeks ago, Landry Fields is just a significant upgrade on him, especially because you can play Antoine Walker at power forward, where he's a little bit more of a mismatch than playing him at small forward. If you do insist on playing Antoine Walker at small forward, I would actually sell him and buy Miles Bridges, because I think Miles Bridges Diamond is better than Antoine Walker Pink Diamond, specifically playing the small forward position. But if you are willing to play Walker at power forward, I'd move him onto the bench there, and also I would put in Landry Fields as small forward. Kurolenko is alright, and yeah, other than that, you're fine. Like, again, you're gonna make a little bit of MT off. You're gonna lose a bit of MT replacing Morris with Fields, and you're also gonna make a little bit of MT replacing Chris Paul with Billups. So it's gonna be pretty even. But yeah, other than that, I think this team's fine. I'm not the biggest Kurolenko fan, but I know a lot of people that really like the card, so I'm not gonna say get rid of him. I would prefer Bridges to Kurolenko as right now in this game just because of offense, but in terms of defense and just playmaking ability, you can't get much better than Kurolenko. So yeah, this is a pretty nice squad right here. And while I'm going to give it about a 7.5 out of 10, but either way, like 7.5 out of 10 is still good. Like, I'm a little bit more harsh. Like, I haven't given out a 10 out of 10 yet. So a 7.5 out of 10 for me is probably 9 out of 10 from other people. But a few changes need to be made. But again, this team's good. You will be well able to compete in Unlimited with this team and win a lot of games if you're a good player. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.